RWBY， 这是 RWBY。
可是我没有装作我什么都知道。我就是说你是一个干啥的，我最讨厌你了。往前走就对了。
Let's check out Blake again.
走就对了。
Alright, let's get some Blake. Let's get some Blake in here.
Oh wait, that's John.
Oh yeah.
He sounds just as wimpy.
They gave him a deep voice. It was cool.
听到吗？
Here we go.
She was gone.
Eric's actually Chinese too.
Nice little face.
Nora，拜托你，别跟我这一套了。
So stoic.
So, China. It's awesome. Like, I know there's Spanish stuff out there. But it's always
Taiwan.
Yeah, it's just like we'll go on Pixiv and we'll see. It's always awesome when the post, we can't read the post at all, we just see the fan art. And they're like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah. I wish I could read this.
It's incredible. It's weird. It's
Great way
really
to
cool.
describe
It's
it.
really cool.
Next question.
This guy. I think you.
Oh, okay.
Waterman.
Okay, this is a mystery of life I need to have these tasks solved right now. The character design for Blake. Did you base it off of Susie from Miss A?
You know, I do like Miss A, yes. I like that song.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a Jackson.
Yeah, Susie's pretty cute. Actually, she's my favorite Miss A member. Maybe I was subconsciously channeling Susie.
Potential is still the way.
Maybe. Okay. Next question.
My question is about the movement of the characters. What's your process? Because every character during the action scenes, there's no force that goes unused from like them just propelling themselves. So just like what's your process for figuring out how you want the characters to move?
Well, it's very easy when you have to like hand key a lot of that emotion. So like you tend to like try to pull them or figure out where the force is coming from. I mean, you kind of like really just answer the questions. Like if there's something that's not being used, just use it. So whenever you're animating one of these scenes, just like, is it good enough? No, keep polishing it, and then you just keep going.
Thank you.
I was just wondering, how did you come up with the idea of Nora's personality?
So, Team Juniper was, Carrie and I love Team Juniper because a lot of it was, Monty had a really good idea of how Team RWBY was going to be, but Team Juniper in the very beginning was just kind of like another team. We weren't going to pay attention to.
At most, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had like Monty had come up with a list of like, oh, here's some other team names we could use, and we're like, oh, you know what, we need more than 4 students at this academy. Let's use Juniper.
Yeah. And I remember you had a sentence written for Nora and Ren, and Ren's was something along the lines of a very honorable person, and Nora's was something along the lines of a very powerful person. And Carrie and I read that and we were like, well, okay, that
Time to write a scene with them.
Yeah, and so we kept putting off like, yeah, trying to write a scene about them. But then when we got to chapter 3, we were like, oh shit, okay, we need to introduce these 2 characters. We'll just have the episode start with the 2 of them. Who are they? And we didn't know what to do, so we stopped writing and played Minecraft.
That happened a lot.
Then we had a pizza.
So good. John's favorite.
John's favorite from Papa John's.
Yeah.
They do not sponsor us, but they should.
I mean, they could if this one says pizza. That'd be great.
That'd be great. And then we sat back down and we're like, okay, what what if, like they're waking up, what if one of them is just like not a morning person? And like as soon as we said that, we're like, and the other one is absolutely a morning person.
Yeah.
So then we wrote,
definition of a morning
yeah. So then we were like, no, she's not just a morning person. She's just like a firecracker. Like she's just never, ever stops. We wrote that opening Nora monologue, and at the end of it, we stopped and we read it back, and we were like, that's pretty fucking funny. I think we know who they are.
Yeah.
And Carrie has a great way of describing how we treat them.
Thanks for the setup. It's the way we usually think of them is they've got the same amount of energy shared between the two of them, and Nora takes it all. So Ren's got nothing. So he's asleep.
So yeah, Ren and Nora, born from small beginnings, but we love Ren and Nora.
That's our story.
You on the back. You.
Cat ears.
Cat ears.
I thought this is a recent question, but after the show's great reception from all the fans from the world, like, is it still quite hard to believe that a show like this would be so much popular, especially with the female audience as well? You don't think they have, if not, maybe a good role model, maybe?
100% yes.
Yeah, it's shocking.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising. Whenever we check, there's like stuff from around the world. I mean, even from like the earliest trailers, it's just like a lot of people have seen this. It's really cool.
Yeah. The thing I remember I was really shocked about was when we were put on Crunchyroll, which was really cool. I thought for sure they were gonna hate it. Like I thought for sure, like, cause like Crunchyroll, you get to watch like fucking professional 2D animated, 22-minute long, awesome shit. And then here was our like, if you're lucky, 11-minute long, 3D animated English thing. And I was like, they're gonna fucking hate it. They're gonna call us posers. They're gonna say that we're trying to be something that we're not. And it was the exact opposite. Everyone was like, what is this thing?
I like this.
There's how many episodes out already? And I can catch up in 15 minutes? Great!
I was gonna get car insurance, but instead.
So it's still crazy. I can't believe that you guys are all here. I can't believe that there was a line that had to get cut off, which sucks. But it's like, wow.
Not to mention the line of the booth today. That was crazy.
Yeah, the line of the booth was.
I think we should get a bigger panel room next year.
Yeah.
So all of you guys should tell them next.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lady Stein.
They're not in here.
Were you guys all friends to begin with and then kind of
No, I don't think so.
We hate
Bitter enemies. Rivals, if I
the
may.
closest we'll get.
Carrie killed my mom. I'm gonna get you one day. You.
I loved Miles once, but not anymore.
I guess how do we all start? We all started out as just kind of coworkers.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been here the longest.
Yeah.
I scared Miles a lot.
Yeah. When I first started, I was an intern and I was just doing like grunt work, and I had to paint the green screen in our studio. Monty works in the studio, and there's just this like tiny Asian dude with a million screens that blasted K-pop all the time, and I only saw him at like nights. So like Asian Dracula scared the shit out of me. No, dude, I was super intimidated by you. And Carrie, I was intimidated by you, but you were the closest person to my age,
Yeah.
so I just clung to you like a leech when I first got
Yeah,
told
it was
you.
like after me, it was Brandon. And he was,
Yeah.
he was younger or older, so it's like,
Yeah.
whatever. And then Monty and I bonded because we both like anime and we both like working at night.
I mean, he started not
Wink.
too long after me.
Yeah, it was like a couple months after.
Season 8, you were interning, you
Yeah.
would go away.
Yeah. I tried so hard to talk to her in season 8 and all I ever got was, And then season 9, I got like a, Season 10, he was like, sup. And he was like,
And then Carrie and I just like each other because we're dumb. But no, I think we all kind of started a little separately, and then over time we found that we had similar interests and that we're not total assholes. So
each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know,
Well, yeah.
killed my mom. But no, yeah. Over time, I think that RWBY's actually brought us a lot closer together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask. I was wondering, like, what is the process? What was the process, like making the episodes, like the animation, how long it would take, the writing, to make the whole
You guys
thing?
want to talk about the production side?
Sure. So we started, it was like maybe October-ish last year. You started a little bit earlier, Monty, working on the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of there's like a lot of answers to that question. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had R&D for this sort of thing for like years, and it's just something I've been like dabbling in on and off while doing other stuff. And it's just like I started applying the technology, and then started making product. And then once product started getting made, people would start backing that. So
I mean,
the actual production, once say if we had a go with like.
It's been a little over a year.
Yeah.
Because the first mention of RWBY at all was in New York Comic Con last year.
Yeah.
So here we are a year later with a Blu-ray DVD on pre-order. So that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So it's been a pretty rough production, but that's about as long as it took.
I guess, but yeah, I guess in terms of the process, it started
sure.
with Monty working on the Red trailer at the same time he was working on the 100 text fight from season 10. You would take breaks from RWB, and your break would be working on RWBY, and then your break from RWBY would be RWB because you're a fucking machine. And then
That was the same thing for all of us too. Is like all of us would be working on RWB, and we'd get tired, so we'd go have dinner and talk about RWB.
Yeah.
It's surprising that it was actually a break. It was absolutely right.
Yeah, and then it was just Carrie. We would all get together at like dinner or something, like you said, IHOP. We'd kind of hammer out the points that we'd want to hit, and then Carrie and I would go to one of our apartments, write out treatments. We'd present the treatments. Everybody's okay with the treatments? Cool. Let's go into writing dialogue. Then after that was storyboards, and then recording the voice actors and actresses.
Right, cutting that to the storyboards.
Then animate-y stuff.
And then animation, which I can't even describe within the time of this panel.
Yeah.
Keyframes.
So let's ease in and out.
And then compositing with Carrie and Gray, and
Making DVDs.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Carrie, choose.
You.
What are your favorite animes, and did any inspire RWBY or influence RWBY?
I mean, everything we've seen has inspired everything.
Yeah, personal life experiences, stuff that we watch that is or is not anime. Yeah, everything's a bit of an inspiration. I think fairy tales might be a slight inspiration. Legends, no, yeah.
Gurren Lagann.
Brotherhood, Fullmetal's Brotherhood. They're both good. I saw Brotherhood recently.
My favorite's Cowboy Bebop.
Name an anime and one of the three of us has seen it.
Yeah.
Maybe not that.
You piece.
Where's his mother?
At least he's still has a mother.
Attack on Titan.
We realized that in the comments that it kind of looked like it. It was not meant to be at all.
No, it was supposed to just be a
Beowulf.
cute Beowulf.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, after we saw it, we're like,
oh shit. Yeah. I like Majora's Mask, so sure.
Yeah. Monty, choose.
Yes.
You mentioned a lot of the fan stuff that you got. A lot of that was really, really fast. Is there anything that you were just either was surprised happened so quickly, or you personally thought?
Yeah, I mean, every time a trailer came out, there would be fan art like that day. It was like after the Weiss trailer, there was like a cosplay like that weekend.
Yeah.
I think the one that surprised me the most was after the episode with Boop in it. Maybe 3 hours later, there was a lengthy, slutty fanfic that was terrible. I meant to say smutty, but whatever.
What's it called?
I read it once and cleared my browser history. I don't know.
Send me the link.
Link.
Well, I mean,
Actually, that recording session was a bit difficult because you started talking in an Irish accent for Lord knows what reason, and then you couldn't stop.
I couldn't stop speaking Irish.
You were like, Nora?
It was Nora, don't ever do that again. And every single
And
time.
also, I can't replicate it.
Don't ever do that again. Give me a lucky charm.
That can be on the Blu-ray?
Weird. Yeah, we have a lot of outtakes. We don't even we have them on record.
Yeah, we've got them, but we don't know what we're gonna do with them.
Yeah, I think hopefully we'll do we can do something with Volume 2, because Volume 1 was down to the wire. Like,
Yeah.
I can't express that enough. Like,
It was
you guys
so-
were here all the time.
It was a little bit difficult in terms of just, for RWB, we want to do an outtake reel. It's just 3 more minutes of machinima, no big deal. When we want to do an outtake reel for RWBY, it's, someone's got to animate that.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to finish the show first. Let's do that instead.
But hopefully we'll be able to release that stuff on maybe with Volume 2 or
we
some
don't
sort
delete
of
it.
bundle or something. But the one thing I still want to release is before we actually got to finalize the scripts, Carrie and I turned in the script for The Shining Beacon, and we were told this is too long. And we said, we don't think it's too long. And we're told, nah, pretty sure it's too long. So to combat that, Carrie and I went into the booth with 2 copies of the script. This is chapter 2, this is Shining Beacon. And this is before they were split up into parts and stuff, so this is chapter 2 to us. That would be episodes 2 and 3.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, it's when they get to the beacon, and Ruby gets all chibi.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Shinida's company is not responsible for any injuries or anything. Yeah. We read that as Ruby, Weiss, Blake, Yang, John, Oz, Glinda. We did all the parts to try and prove that it was doable in under 10 minutes.
It was just us going back and forth with different. We're just usually I was Ruby and Yang,
and I would be Weiss and what are you doing? What are some other fucking lines? We wrote the fucking job.
I forget that shit.
What's the, oh my god, he really exploded. It was an accident! It was an accident! What's this? The Shinida's company is not responsible for any injuries or injuries sustained, blah, blah, blah. I did that line in under 5 seconds and I was really proud. I don't know. Yeah, we did it and it was a lot of fun. And I still really want that to end up on a DVD.
Yeah, it will, I'm sure. We got it.
Yeah.
Give it a touch.
My question is, when it comes to the music, like, does Jeff write the music, or do you guys like write it? He just
Very
I
early
get my
on.
flute out.
Yeah, we send him, we're all like, this will be a day. And he's like, I can work with that.
Very early on, I wrote Jeff a lot of the same character backgrounds I gave Miles and Carrie. So he did a lot of studying for the show. So whenever he comes up with something, we try to keep it as close to the character as we can, and then just a lot of back and forth whenever he sends us something. Very often we're like, okay, can we use this? Can we have an instrumental here? So it tends to be a lot of references like the early, scripts and Bibles about what the characters are like.
Jeff's really big on, okay, I've got to write a song about this person. Tell me about this person. What is this person? Who are they doing? Like, what's going on? You know, not who are they doing. What are they doing? Yeah. I'm still thinking about that the fanfic from earlier. It was good.
Oh yeah, it was all about Professor Pork. It was awesome.
Mustache ride. Anywho.
Confess to me your strife.
Why was he Irish or Scottish? Alright, you again.
Okay. Crap, I forgot my question.
Okay, now give it
Moving on.
How long does it take you? How long does it take you to like develop the character, storyline, and whatnot for this whole project? You know?
Some would say the characters are still developing, but
Yeah.
in the way that the story itself unfolds, we both have a starting point and a part in which they would grow.
I'm talking about more than just like character. I'm talking about visually. How do you like? How long would it take you to set up a particular episode, and how long did it take you to come up with the whole idea for this?
A couple months for the idea.
Yeah.
We won't give specifics, but if we were to say, if you were to take 100% of the story of RWBY,
It's gonna be some awesome math. Prepare yourself.
Shut up. I would say that we have 75% of the entire story, not volume, everything figured out. There's still 25% we gotta figure out. So we did a lot of world building, a lot of character stuff and junk.
Like this person, this.
We start with a show Bible, so for instance, Weiss drinks coffee and Blake drinks tea. That's one thing that that's a thing. And it seems dumb, but every little detail counts, so we just try to give as much.
I also have years of backlog of movies that I wanted to make that might not have been specifically RWBY, just fights. And I start aligning characters we have now with fights I had in my mind in the past. So it's I have this fight where it's this person versus this person. Is that looking similar enough? Yes. And I started putting them into RWBY. And so now we have fights that'll come down the line. That might have been something I might have even done before RWBY or wanted to do years ago. And it's we have a character that used this particular weapon, or did I have this weapon in planning? Yeah.
Okay, when you say research and development, like at the bar or
Like a what?
actual research, the research for the characters and everything.
I mean, research, honestly, for something like a creative project like this, is everything.
Yeah,
research is
it's
watching anime, research is reading a book.
Yeah, it was a lot of us just talking and figuring out okay, we'd like a character that does this. Does it fit in with this character we already have?
Yep.
Okay, it kind of does. Well, it breaks this. Well, if we just do this, then it's all fixed again, or it's broken and we don't care. This is better now. It's the more you can kind of just talk things out and just start thinking about it, the better.
Yep. And we try to set up the ingredients for something great down the line. So we'll say well, I know I need this character to do this, this thing 3 years from now.
So they need to feel this way now, So it makes sense for them to do this later.
So like I may have like put a picture in one of the trailers that someone's looking for something, and we're not, and that picture is not related to anything you've seen, but you'll see it later.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're really big into long plays, so
Yeah.
sorry guys.
Yeah, red shirt.
Big.
Weapons. When you were designing them or like figuring out who would use what, you take like character personality and figure it out when you gave them like a specific.
Kind of, actually. Like, you know, knowing RWBY would have, like, I had the idea of the sniper sight before I had RWBY. But, like, the thematically sights look kind of like the moon. It has like that crescent shape. It has a silver edge, you know, for the hunting wolves and stuff.
Yeah.
Or I knew, and like, I had shotgun gauntlets before I had Yang, but I knew that they were explosive in the sense that I wanted that matched their personality. So I have weapons and characters, and I just put them together and say, oh, this works.
You in the back. Yes, you.
Kind of a general question, but
General question?
sorry. Sorry. Do you ever feel like you guys are very open about like your process and like how you guys work, and you're also like very open on your podcast and stuff, on the podcast and stuff. Do you ever feel like the fans are like a bit too familiar?
Nah.
No, I mean, not really. Like, if there's something that we're not comfortable to talk about with a random stranger, we probably won't bring it up on the podcast.
I mean, we're open about the process because, I mean, this it's kind of like machinima. Anyone can do it. That means the content itself has to be good. That means the writing itself has to be
Yeah.
good.
And, you know, it's not that we're worried about, you know, revealing the process or anything, because, you know, anybody can find this out, anybody can do it, but, you know, you've got to have a good story and a good work ethic.
I saw an MMD version of the Red trailer on YouTube, and it's like, yeah, it was near 1-to-1 of someone else animated the Red trailer, but they didn't come up with the Red trailer. They needed the Red trailer first to follow it. So it's like, it's not about the quality animation, because they could have done it, but they didn't because they couldn't think of it, and they had to see the Red trailer first. So it was like, you know, there's plenty of people who can copy something, but not everyone can come up with something.
Also, I'm just not that private of a person. I don't care.
Yeah. No, I don't think I've ever really experienced anybody that's like.
Also, that means that you two, Harry, for all of you, have any of your first aspiring writers?
Have you what?
Tips for aspiring writers. I would never have considered myself to be a professional writer until I was told I was.
What's the first thing you wrote?
The first thing I wrote was
Or
was Red vs. Blue miniseries where there's a will, there's a wall.
And like, how did that end up becoming?
How did that?
Because everyone was busy.
Yeah. Everybody else was too busy to work on it, and we were just like, somebody needs to write this miniseries, and I was like, I'll do it. I'm like, okay, whatever, kid. And I wrote it, and I gave them the script for the first episode, and they're like, do that again. And I did it again, they're like, do that a third time. And they're like, do that for half of season 10, and then later we're gonna make you the head director of the show. And it's like, that's some foresight you got. I guess if I were to give advice, the thing that I love more than anything is just interesting characters, because that's what I think what makes Red vs. Blue so strong, and that's why I think I was able to pick it up from Bernie, is because his characters are so well defined. Like, you know every one of them. So my thing is, if you can come up with characters that you love that you want to know more about, and if you can take two of those characters and put them in a room and shake the room, something has to happen. If something doesn't happen, like if your two characters just aren't going to interact after you shake that room, you need to fix your characters. So my thing is characters.
I think a good way to make things interesting is just to draw from everything. There's a lot of chaos in the RWBY production, right? Where we would just see something, we're like, I like that, and we'll just use it, and we'll just deal with the consequences later.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that, that's how Yang got her aviators. Somebody went, oh, that'd be awesome. And just modeled them, threw them on.
Because, Monty would just play Danger Zone whenever we would do a play blast of that scene, and we all thought it was hilarious. So then we were like, give her aviators. And then we asked Williams to do a Danger Zone thing. It didn't end up working out, but almost. It was almost there.
Yeah. If I had to say anything, it would just be just start doing stuff. It's kind of that's the same advice I give for anything. Is you're always going to want to hold on to an idea because you think, oh, this will be better if I'm better later. But just do it, because you're not going to get better unless you start writing or start animating or start doing anything.
Yep.
You, Graham.
I was wondering, if you ever done put anyone from Achievement Hunter or Gus as one of the voice characters?
That's very specific. Anyone from Achievement Hunter? Gus.
You should watch upcoming episodes.
Yeah, you should keep watching.
Yeah.
I
Well,
know Ryan's right.
Ryan,
true.
you want to know everything.
I haven't seen
believe
any
you in
animals
the
in a hole yet.
dark
Yeah,
red
right.
thing. Yes, you. I'll take it. Okay, so that episode that you just saw, that's how we wrote it. We wrote 10, 11-minute long chapters. Unfortunately, stuff like that doesn't always fly online. There's a multitude of reasons, whether it be budget, animation time, there's lots of stuff. And then also, that's just always what Rooster Teeth has done, is they try and keep their series in these little chunks, because that's a formula that's always worked for them. Does it work for RWBY? You know, I don't know. I think some people don't mind it, some people really fucking hate it. So there's a lot of reasons. But going forward, hopefully we can learn from this first volume, and maybe in the next volume we could do longer episodes. Because no promises, but goddamn, yeah, no, we are very.
One of my favorite animes is Katanagatari, which has 40-minute episodes.
No, that's just mean. That's not gonna fucking happen. But no, yeah, it's I'm sorry, there's not a simple answer to the question.
Yeah,
there's just a lot of
there's more to the process than the creative side, and we're just people. We actually don't all have all the answers.
Yeah, and we don't have all the power either. Sometimes people will just be like, you gotta shorten it, and we'll just be like, you gotta do it. Okay. But I'm just happy that the show's getting done, you know?
Yeah, you.
Yeah. Second half of that episode you just watched?
Yeah, that's coming up. Yeah, Jean kills a Ursa Major.
That was next week's episode. The second half.
Yeah. I mean, we want to do more, so hopefully we can do more.
How many left?
We've got it's airing up until the DVD comes out, which is 11, 12, 13. So until the Thursday before that. So however many that is, math. Probably 3 or 4. Math is processed. Right there. Yeah.
So, like, in the way of story, do we get to see any of the, like, RWBY's, like, the 4 characters? Do we see any of their backstory in Volume 1 at all?
The important thing about Volume 1 right now is establishing the team and them learning to work together and work past a lot of some of the baggage they might have brought with them. There's a lot of backstory, and we can't wait to get to it.
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the things that's kind of important is we kind of have to start telling the story before we can go into the backstory.
Yeah. So stay tuned is the answer to the question.
Yes. It's there.
You glasses.
Like in Volume 2, are you planning to do like longer, like not director's cuts episodes? Like you have like a 7-minute one on YouTube, and then maybe put more of what you want in Volume 2 as like an extra added bonus?
I mean, most weeks we barely get this out the door, so if we got something for you, we're just gonna hand you in all of it.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Oh, my turn. You in the backpack with the hair, yes.
That describes everybody.
Shut the fuck up!
Apparently more.
Yeah.
We got a list. It's got names.
Yeah, we have a long list of characters. Right now, at minimum, we have 8 main characters. And that number's...
I mean, when I was first telling Bernie about the story, he's like, that's a lot of characters. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. But not many characters.
Having a big ensemble cast is a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, look at RWBY.
Yeah, fucking Jesus. RWBY has a lot of characters. Yeah. Unfortunately, you don't have the models and all. It's a lot easier.
You're right there.
Mainly for Monty, but if you guys want to add, do you have a background in dancing?
I do too. I don't.
Adult dancing.
Very happy.
I don't.
RWBY kind of, I think, gives you more liberty, but how much do you think that dancing plays into the fight scenes?
Oh, a lot. I mean, one of the things I've said before is that as a life lesson, I've tried many things and used that as motivation for my work, essentially. And one of the main messages for RWBY is to never give up, and that's something that rings pretty much down to the end. Essentially, I didn't know I'd be an animator. At one point in my life, I tried to be a dancer, an actor. I wanted to run businesses. I had small jobs. I had not small jobs, and at the end of the day, all of that culminates into what I do now. So like. The dancing definitely comes into play because just knowing movement. These days I look after a lot of animators who work under me, and I can tell the ones who know how to move versus the ones who don't and what they can give me. So like, well, especially for certain characters, I think expression and motion is a very important thing, especially with animation, because art is an aesthetic medium, all forms of art. And honestly, dancing, probably the oldest art form of them all, gets overlooked quite often and should get more appreciation, especially in a visual medium.
Real quick too, I do see some cameras in the audience. That's totally cool. But if you did happen to have a camera running during the episode, please don't put it on mine. Please, 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 please. I trust you all.
There's only 120 of you, and you will find you. And your mothers.
That might not be a bad thing.
Let's get in the back on the right there. Yeah, you.
Yeah, with the hair.
Say that.
In the back.
It's a weird coincidence.
Does West look like Snow White? I don't think she does.
I mean, she's blind. Anyway, sorry.
What-
We're being assholes. Let's continue.
What's the question? The legitimate answer to that really is we want you to see something and recognize it, but at the point of, past that point of entry, you're already interested in it, and then at that point, we give you our own character.
Yeah.
So like, it's good advertising is the real answer. It's like people see a hooded character and they see him fighting wolves. Yeah, it's a Red Riding Hood story. He's doing nothing like Red Riding Hood. I'll tell you that. But so same case. But then we're finding more and more that we're putting characters on screen now, and people couldn't care less what that character is referencing. We just come up with a character now.
Yeah, it's really funny. Like we thought when we introduced like Juniper, like Ren and Nora, people would be clamoring like, "Oh, who are they based off? Who are they based off of?" No, nobody seemed to care. Everyone was like, "Hey, I like these Ren and Nora people."
I mean, a lot of you who follow my work know that I've done fan service in the past, and in doing fan service, you learn the difficulties of achieving anything anyone wants to pay attention to. So, I mean, I just played it smart. I made something that was between fan service and something original. But at the end of the day, it actually is original. It just looks like fan service.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you sir.
I think everyone loved it. I mean, people were very excited. I mean, it was kind of fresh, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing anyone ever saw wasn't something they saw. They would just hear slicing sounds from my computer. Like, RWBY was done. People were exhausted. RWBY season 10, and then you heard me, and all you heard was like shing 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 sounds, and bullet noises, and wolves crying, and people, you know, getting sliced in half and stuff. And
I remember the very, very, very first thing you ever had of it was you had this animation of the sniper sight. They would just show it like unfolding and folding again.
Yeah.
And you show the people up there, like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah. You red shirt corner. Yes, you.
What's up, Edgar?
Get back in your hole!
Correction. She wanted to say, I let her take it.
Oh, snap.
So, you said earlier you just put stuff in and deal with the consequences later.
Yep.
Anything going to come out of RWBY?
You sure it hasn't already happened? There might be a little bit of Ruby Raptor on the DVD. It's small. It's very small. Yeah. But you'll if you look for it, you'll
Literally,
find it.
it's tiny.
But yeah, no, dumb ideas. What?
No idea is too dumb.
Yeah, you.
What'd you point?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, you guys are fucking awesome.
You're fucking awesome.
Oh, stop it!
I noticed that, like Barbara is, inspired you to make Yang, and RWBY was based a little bit off of Lindsay. Was Lai Ren based a little bit off of Monty?
What?
Actually, not really, because at the time we didn't think Monty was going to be playing Ren. We thought Monty was going to be playing Osmond.
Right. I was originally going to play Osmond because, like Church, this is me taking a lesson from Bernie. He's the guy who knows the most about the world and has to do the most explaining. Therefore, I should cast myself as that. And then I realized I couldn't act. So I'll give myself some time. Maybe play a character who doesn't speak much. Right. And then there's another character that maybe won't come down the line that I actually really want to play. Yeah.
So, in the case of Ren, actually no. But now it seems super appropriate.
It does.
You, sir.
I noticed that there are other people who have worked on RWBY who are in this group. Can we ask them to share their experiences?
Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron, so give him Come on, no, seriously, come on. Take my microphone. Take it to when you speak. Tell the tale. I don't know, just talk about what it's like working on RWBY. You want to sit in the chair too? Do you want some water? Oh, okay.
Does this move?
Oh,
Did I just get up too fast?
There'll be a fanfic in a day.
Probably less.
So Aaron, what was it like getting involved?
The first things that happened with RWBY was Miles was like, so you have that past in acting and stuff, right? Monty's looking for people to voice act. Why don't you throw him some French or whatever and then do it? But my first experience with it, after actually getting the role, was while I was in France. We did a table read, and I was in France, and it's like 8 o'clock at night there, and I'm on Skype just whispering my lines with Lindsay and Barbara and everybody, and that was my experience.
So you're swinging back
It
and
was
next door.
fun. I enjoyed it. No, I really do enjoy it. I like working with these guys. They're all right. It made the whole process really easy working with them and working with my friends. Yeah.
This is how the rest of the panel's
We're
gonna
gonna share.
Alright, next question. Right there. James.
You know my name.
So,
Oh.
Did you interview us?
you were probably one of the first RWBY interviewers.
Sup, girl?
I tried to talk about
You too.
We had an interview last year at New York Comic Con, and I couldn't talk about RWBY, but I talked very vaguely about a project.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Vaguely. That's not good to say.
Okay, go ahead.
So, if Rooster Teeth didn't approach you guys, what was it, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago? Where do you think you'll be right now?
You know, I remember when I was finishing up my last game job, and I was up in Northern California at the time, and I was looking at Rooster Teeth, which I talked to, a few years prior after making Halo, and they were like trying to hire me, and I was like, I met up with them at San Diego Comic Con, Bernie specifically, and just talked to him. I was also just trying to find a new job, because you gotta work. And at the time, Crystal Dynamics was hiring for the new Tomb Raider. And I think back to that, it's like I could have joined Crystal Dynamics and worked on Tomb Raider for 4 years, which came out this year, or I could have made 4 movies, which we just finished. Or, like, I've made 4 DVDs.
8, 9, 10, and RWBY.
That, I don't know, it's awesome. I mean, when I think about that. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
I would be finishing up college last year. Last semester.
Miles, what would you?
I'd either be fucking GameStop, or I'd be in LA. Yeah, at the same time I applied for an internship at Rooster Teeth, I also was applying for an internship at Nickelodeon Studios and Cartoon Network. So I would have either been in Atlanta or LA, or no, sorry, Burbank. I think, yeah, I don't know. Wherever. I'd probably be in a really crowded city that I wasn't used to, that I didn't like. So yeah, I'm glad I'm here. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much all the time that we have, but thank you so much to all of you for being here. Thank you so much for supporting us. If you want more RWBY, just buy shit. Thank you so much. Thank you again for coming. We love all of you.
11, 12, 13.
12, 13.
14, 15, 16.